Steve from Corey's Guitar School, and today we're going to be having a look at this guitar, which is made by Enya, a brand that I'm not very familiar with, but I've been testing it for the last, I don't know, 24 hours, and it's fantastic. It's a really good guitar. I popped into the local music shop in Truro called Modern Music in Cornwall, and they said, test it out, and I said, okay, I'll do a review on it, and this is what we've got now. So let's have a look at what it's made out of. The neck itself is made out of what they call Congo mahogany, and it's a nice wood. It's not overly varnished, so it's not too sticky, and if you can hear any it's got some gel inside it, a packet of gel inside it, just to keep it dry, if you hear anything through the microphone here. Now on the front we have spruce, and it's a solid top as well, and the back and sides are made out of what they call HPL, which is like a pressure treated kind of laminate thing made out of wood, and it really doesn't sound too bad at all. It sounds really nice, and it's really loud. And resonant as well, so I really like that. The frets at the side, not badly finished off at all, nice, not sharp or anything. The fretboard is made out of Richlight, which it's not wood, but it looks a little bit like a ebony kind of colour with small dots on it. But that is not why this guitar is really cool. The reason that this guitar is really cool, and it's called a Ega X1 Pro. That's what it's called by Enya. I'll get that right to start off with. What it's got this little button on top. Now you might hear it clicking. It's not overly loud, but the microphone does make it sound quite loud. And what this does is it adds effects to the guitar. And when I say effects, it does delay, it does compression, it does reverb. It even does like a wah sound, which I wasn't expecting, but it kind of gives it kind of a flangey kind of sound. And also, it's got a chorus built in. I don't think I've missed anything out. And in a short while, I'll be going through the app that comes with it, the free app, and the app's really cool. So anyway, let's have a listen to, I'm just going to press the button. Let's have a listen to the first sound that I've got on here, and you can customize it to whatever you want it to sound like. You know, you're not stuck with the presets that comes with it. But here is its sound for a bit of reverb. Do you hear the reverb at the end? It's pretty good. I'll do a little bit of finger picking. Let's pop on to the next sound. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just recording with a 58 mic here, so you can hear the sounds of the guitar itself. Now, what I'm going to do in a bit is I'm going to plug into the back, because, as I said, it's an Electro Acoustic, and you can just record straight off the guitar. And I think you don't have to use the effects, and that will save a little bit of battery life, because it's got built-in battery, and you can, I think they said you can get about 14 hours on it, which is really cool. It takes about 6 hours to charge from empty, and I think you can have 8 hours using the effects on their own, so that is a long time. Anyway, this is the sound with the chorus. You can hear that reverb, it sounds lovely. And this is a sound with a little bit of delay. You can also adjust the EQ for each different preset that you've got on this. I think there's probably about 4 or 5 presets, and that's plenty. Here it is with the delay. So if that sounds a little bit bright to you, don't worry, you can change that. Okay, and this is that kind of wah sound. Now I was a bit like, ooh, what's that all about? But it kind of sounds cool. Very interesting. Press the button in for 3 seconds, and that puts it into just normal mode without using the effects. So you've got that option. What would I use this guitar for, or who would I recommend it to? Probably anybody, really. It'd be really good for, it's kind of the high end of beginner's cost going into intermediate sort of cost. And I'll tell you the cost in a bit, so keep tuned. It plays really nice. They CNC these, by the way, so that virtually every one that you get is going to be pretty much the same. And this is what I've been reading online as well. This is where I'm getting my information from. What comes with it is a load of goodies, and I'm just going to show you what you get with it. You get this quite cool padded case with it. A nice chunky cable. That's really nice quality. That is fantastic. It's even got a proper cable tie on it, not just a plastic thing. It's actually a proper cable tie. I'll tell you what else we get without me having to reach for them. You get a strap, you get a capo, you get some spare strings, you get some plectrums, and they even throw in a cleaning cloth as well. So you're pretty much catered for straight off the bat. It's brilliant. As I say, beginners would find this really good. You just want to pick this up all the time. It's great. It's got all the sounds in it. It sounds wonderful. Intermediates would find it great, and you could gig it very easily. They do lots of different models. They even do electric guitars as well, and they've got a speaker. And I thought, do I like it? And I tried it out yesterday, and I actually thought they'd turned an amplifier on in the shop, and I was hearing it from there, but it wasn't. It was coming from the guitar. So, do I like it? Yes, I do. It's really good. And I certainly wouldn't review anything that I didn't like. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to plug it into an audio interface, and we're going to hear it straight from the guitar and see what it sounds like there. Right, so now I've plugged in the Enya into the audio interface. I did find that I needed to turn down the effects levels on the guitar using the app because it was a little bit too much, but that's fine as long as you know that. If you're going out playing, gigging, whatever, you'd obviously do that anyway and just set them up to your exact requirements. So let's have a listen to it. So the first one is just going to be pretty much a plain acoustic sound with a little bit of reverb on it. Now with some strumming. So that's that patch. I'm just going to go on to the next one. This should have a little bit of a chorus on it. And a little bit of reverb maybe. And a little finger picking. Okay, now the next one should be a little bit of delay. As I say, these are colour coded on the top, so you can see what you've got. The first one was green, the second one was blue. This one's like a light blue, and the next one after this one will be purple. Okay, so here we go with a little bit of delay. A little strumming. And then the fourth sound, which is a little bit strange, but I'm sure you can you make use of it. It's using that wah-wah sound. I found it was a little bit thin, but I haven't had much time to mess about with it. Remember, each sound you can separately EQ. So, you know, you can add more bass, obviously, and I think it's like a 5-band EQ that's on the app. Anyway, we'll look at the app in a moment. So here is the other sound with the wah on it. Next is the app. It's going to be cool. Right, this is the app section of the video, and what you can see at the top is you have the dashboard and you have create. Now, the dashboard part, these, as far as I can tell, are just presets, and I've tried them out and they sound really nice. I wouldn't use them live as presets as they might be a little bit too much. As I said earlier, you need to just tone it down a little bit. If I pop to create, this is where it all kind of happens so that you can do all your personal preferences. And here we have the mixer section where we can adjust the overall outputs. And this is per preset, by the way, as far as I can tell anyway. Because when you press the button on the guitar, it all changes. So at the bottom we have the effects level, very useful. And then we have the Bluetooth level, and then we have the live out level just over there. So you can adjust each of your sounds to your own preferences. In the middle we have the EQ, very useful. You can see there at the top we have an EQ curve, so we can see how much bass we have, mid and treb. And then at the bottom we have a 5-band equalizer, so you can plus or minus it and do it to your heart's content. Okay, so that's a nice little EQ per preset. And over here we have your effects kind of mixing part. The thing I'm set to at the moment was my first preset, which was just a little bit of reverb on the guitar. And the nice thing is that you can incrementally change it with the plus and the minus down here, or you can just get your finger on and move it around on there. As we go down, you'll see that we've got echo, and this little thing here, this little button here, turns it on and off. You've got feedback on your echo, and you've got the time. Now the time will go up to 1 second, so 1000 milliseconds, and feedback means how many repeats you have. Let's go down a little further. Onto the chorus, you've got the controls here for your depth and your rate, and also increments so that you can do that there. They've all got the increments, it's really useful. Here we have the wah-wah effect, which it's a little bit like... it sounds a bit like a flange to me. They call it wah, but it sounds a little flangey. And you've got a really rather cool compressor at the bottom there. And then again, you've got your increments as well. And that pretty much is that for adjusting the guitar. Right, so how much would this guitar cost, or does it cost? I did say it was sort of top end of the beginners kind of money and into the intermediates, but it's still around 329 to 339, that sort of area, okay? And I would like to thank Modern Music again for loaning me this guitar to do this review. It's been a pleasure to do. It really surprised me how cool it is for that money. And please subscribe to the channel, to Cool Riffs Guitar School, and I'll speak to you soon. I'm Steve Ball, signing off.